he hit something in me. I couldn't stop.
No, you guys haven't even heard of him.
If I'm in a foreign country and some cartel says, "Where'd you get this?" Ratting.
Well, it was you, dude.
Yeah, my nips are like diamonds, dude. They're
My
so
sister
good.
hates that joke.
Why would she?
You go speakeasy, you're like, oh, I'm coming.
Unless, you're really drunk one day.
I almost forgot to take out my retainer.
Welcome back to the Picky Boys podcast.
Welcome back.
We got a new face today.
New face.
But first,
New
let's go
person.
around, do what we usually do.
Danny, as always.
And then, now it's your turn. You could tell him exactly.
Oh, we're going in a circle?
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
it's square, I guess.
Max Manticof from New York, comic. I guess.
Boom.
No, perfect.
Does anyone ever call you Maximilian?
Yeah, I mean, that's my name, but it's just people can't even pronounce it, which is terrible.
Maximilian?
Did I not pronounce
No,
it?
that's perfect.
I thought he was
people
gonna
are
say,
just
yeah.
really dumb when they
That's-
see it. Like I'm like, I used to do Maximilian when I did comedy, and then people would be like, Max Manticof. Like they would just fuck up the whole. I was like, yo, I'm gonna make this as short as possible for you because
Just going to go Max.
yeah, it's horrible. Like if you get introduced, people are like, this guy's really funny. He's great. You've seen him everywhere. And the millionaire. You're like, thank you. That guy had no fucking idea who I was. Like,
Yeah.
Maximilian Madoff. There.
Jesus.
And it's like, oh God.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't work.
Who are you again? Sorry.
Antonio.
JT.
Let's start this picnic.
Let's start this
Start the
picnic.
picnic.
Get ready to go.
you guys know about Burning Man or whatever? How like they don't have like a currency system where everything's based on like what you bring.
Barter
Yeah.
system, right?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a barter system. You can't buy anything. So people go with, girls could just go with nothing and somehow end up with everything, It's just how you could go there
It's the
literally
old-
with
that's
nothing.
that's the oldest barter system of all
The
time.
oldest trick in the
Oh,
book,
It's the oldest job.
True.
It
Shit, too.
Prostitution, man.
I don't know. You could probably just handy for a bottle of water if you really want it. It's not that high a price.
I would love to go to
Oh,
Burning
that's-
Man though.
That's a bad trade deal.
You think that's a bad trade? What if you're fucking thirsty? You jerk someone off for a water bottle.
Oh, I would. It's still a bad trade deal.
That's fair.
The smartest thing you could do if you get no pussy is just bring like the most desirable thing.
What's that?
I don't know, maybe
What's
electrolytes.
A shower?
Electrolytes, a
You're out
shower,
in the desert, right? Like
water,
something that people need. You're like, you need this for survival.
a comb.
It's probably drugs.
It's probably drugs.
It is
Yeah,
probably.
it's
it's
definitely
probably
drugs, actually.
It's probably drugs.
I know a ton of people who've been, but now they're all the same people who are like, Burning Man has changed. It's like, get the fuck
Changed,
outta here.
man.
And it has changed. Like Diplo flies his private plane in there, so it's changed a little bit. But I'm sure it's still fun.
Yeah, but it's the same as like it's people that just have multiple things to do. Like he flies in and then he flies the fuck out. It's not like he flies in, builds a house, stays there, and like changes the whole scene. It's like, yo, he's got to perform a dip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his house is the airplane.
Yeah, he's
The
like, I gotta
private
get the
jet.
fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would definitely go. It sounds fun as fuck.
They did the same shit with Coachella though. They were like, oh, it changed. I was like, no, it's always been kind of weird.
It
Like,
is.
it's always been like there's like a mixture of 6-year-olds to 35, 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Coachella, there's such a massive like pay divide. Like, there's a bunch of people who just are normal people, and then they're partying alongside. I mean, there's a fence, but they're partying alongside like Leonardo DiCaprio and Kim Kardashian
super
and all these
VIPs.
people. And so there's definitely two different Coachella experiences.
the money throw.
And money is
Yeah.
what gets you the better one.
It's like the Hunger Games, different districts.
yeah.
So like whenever you see like celebrities like post pictures where they're like, I'm at Coachella, like they're posting like pictures of just them like, I don't know, with like a gown, like throwing it in the wind to like look nice. Like they're in like a private section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're nowhere near the poor people.
And it's like it's a private section with like villas, like full on houses.
Yeah.
Like a real music festival experience should be like you're toughing it out.
Yeah.
Like the third day should be
You
you're
smell.
on-
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Yeah.
chafing somewhere.
It should be hard. It should be difficult.
It should be difficult. And shout out to all the girls who endure it because they still manage, because obviously they just take a lot more upkeep, and still throughout Firefly or Coachella or any of these festivals, they still manage to pull it off.
Makeup every day.
Just make it every day. They go find like a well to shower in.
Yeah, but everyone's so fucking drunk. That like
That's
you
true.
don't actually know. You get me? There's like a lot of filters. Like if you saw them in person, it's like probably splotch, 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 splotch.
I see. Yeah.
But in pictures, you're like, wow, they look amazing.
Wow, how'd she get her eyeliner so perfect? And it's
Yeah.
really just like this.
Her eyes look in two different ways.
Yeah.
Let's see, we could Photoshop that out.
Yeah, it's all right. We can
Fix it in
that.
post.
Have you guys been like have you guys traveled anywhere? Like where have you guys been around? Like in the world?
In the world?
Yeah.
Like recently or just in general?
Just in general.
Been to Ireland. That's it.
Pretty much like I'd say most of Europe probably. But he's
Yeah,
a little
most-
more than me.
Most of Europe, and then I lived in Brazil for a little bit, which was
You
really
lived
cool.
in Brazil?
Yeah,
That is fucking awesome. Where at?
it was very cool.
He has a lot of kids down there.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
well traveled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a whole island of just little Dannies running around. No, and then just Europe, and then for a while I also lived in San Francisco and St. Louis.
Did you guys realize like everywhere? So especially in Europe, you said
Just Ireland. That's like the only place I've been.
Like in Europe, like drugs are everywhere. Like they're huge. Like,
yeah. We went to Amsterdam. That's probably
Amsterdam is insane too.
Yeah,
like Amsterdam doesn't make any sense. You can get it, and you can get anything at any moment at any place.
Yeah, it's weird that like you go there and it's like, do people have jobs here? It's like you're just looking around. It's like there's just drugs everywhere, and it's like without problems. It feels like an amusement park.
They're also so nice. Like you can go and be like, because whenever you ask for drugs in America, you're gonna be a little sketchy about it.
Even
You'll
if
be
you
like,
can
yo,
act, even if it's legal, you're like,
yo, you know where I can get this?
Yeah.
But the people in Amsterdam are like, oh yes, you can get the cocaine right down the street. It's like, what the fuck? Thank you.
But they do that in like the red light district or whatever. Like there's every drug possible.
Yeah.
Like when I was sitting there, I remember I was just sitting in Amsterdam, like smoking weed, and we got offered probably every drug in the book, like over like an hour span. We were just like sitting by the water, and people just keep coming up to you. You want this? Yeah, you want this? Yeah, you want this? And you're like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Like besides the fact that there's hookers, like
Yeah, and on top of that, yeah.
everywhere.
And right behind this like fruit stand of drugs, there's just a stripper with no fucking bra on right behind him. It's like, this is a crazy place.
They're very aggressive too. Those red light strippers. They'll like knock on their window.
They would,
Like,
they would call them.
One of them opened the door and went, "You teddy bear, come here, come to me." Okay.
It's okay.
if
you
you're
ask,
asking,
yeah.
no, but it is a crazy place, and every country has their own little quirk to sell drugs. Like, I was in Peru, and I forgot Peru too. I was in Peru, and the way they sell them is they just sell these like fake paintings, and so you have all these paintings, and if you want different drugs have different code words. So if you say like, "Oh, give me a green painting,"
Or give me
they'll
Mozart.
give you like they'll pass off to another guy who takes you around a corner, and then he gives you the drugs.
Yeah, but that's like secret shit. That's like
But
kinda
it's
awesome.
Yeah.
It's very easy to figure out because everybody knows.
yeah. It's like, oh, he bought a green painting, and then like someone buys like a rainbow painting. You're like, what the fuck is that one? You know?
That's like ecstasy or something.
Yeah, it's like, what the
The
fuck
green
is that
painting
thing?
is obviously like weed.
Yeah, I got a white painting.
South America is terrifying because there's like a lot of like different cartels. So it's like if you buy drugs off someone that like isn't associated with the cartel that's providing them because someone's trying to make money on the side, like you can get in trouble for it.
Yeah,
Like they'll come after you. Where'd you get this? And you're like, yo, honestly, it's not my fault. Like, yeah.
Dude, I just asked for a fucking painting.
Oh, if I'm in a foreign country and some cartel says, "Where'd you get this?" Ratting immediately. Come on. I mean, I hold no allegiance to this random Peruvian man.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
No one in Peru is gonna sell you drugs now.
Oh, what a shame.
Too high risk. He's a high risk client.
They just have my photo in their pocket.
Have you guys been to Mexico?
No.
Mexico's crazy like that. Like, and so when I was living in San Diego, you're like 15 minutes away from Tijuana, like right by the border. Like if it's a Saturday night and you're like, oh, the clubs downtown suck, let's go to Mexico.
Damn.
It's fucking it's
Jesus.
awesome. It's sick
Yeah.
because like shit doesn't open there till like 12 anyway. So like the clubs aren't even popping until kind of late. And San Diego's like an early place. So you're out at like 9, 10. So you could be out in America for like 2 hours and be like, let's go to Mexico. And you go there and it's fucking insane. Like it's immediately as you cross the border, it's just like a bombardment of like, what do you want? What do you need? Let's take you wherever the fuck you want to go.
That's funny.
Like $1 goes a long way at the strip clubs.
That's funny.
How far can you go?
How far can
long
a dollar
way-
go?
Look, I haven't gone very far with it, but if you pull out $1, I'm not kidding. Like it's like immediately, it's like a bombardment of people just like
piranhas.
just come to you. They're like, oh, he's got money.
Yeah.
Because you're there with like American money in a Mexican like strip club. So for them to like, yo, one of your dollars is 20 of his pesos, 30 of his pesos. So like, I'll work for that shit before I work for this dude. Because you could throw 20 pesos, it'll take you 10 seconds. $1, it's real quick. So here you go. You made that same money. So they come at you immediately. It's fucking nuts.
Business people.
They were offering like lap dances and shit for like $5.
I wonder if strippers ever have sales. It's like Black Friday.
Everything must go. 2 for 1.
Yeah, exactly. It's a 2-for-1 deal.
Oh, during COVID for sure.
Yeah, business hurting.
Yeah, you go fucking why not? You're like,
Do they wear masks? That seems ridiculous.
nah.
They follow the guidelines for sure.
They probably wear. Yeah,
No more than 3 people at a time, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah. Huh.
well, private rooms are pretty private anyway. So
Have you guys been to like a drive-in strip club? You guys seen those?
No.
No, you guys haven't even heard of them.
No.
no,
I still don't believe that they exist. What are you talking about?
like a McDonald's.
They
drive-thru?
had one in San Diego. It was like in the back of like a Burger King or some shit.
Jesus.
It was insane. Like, so there was like a strip club. I think it's called Pacers, and like Pacers is like it's part of like a mini mall, like a drive-in mini mall, and it's just in its own section. And so like out front, they were like, "Well, we're closed. We might as well just have drive-in
Strip clubs.
strip club."
Ding,
so
first
like
idea.
people would pull up, and like in that same parking lot, you have someone who's going to TJ Maxx, like someone who's going to like Burger King, and you're like, "Yo, this is not good
Like a mom with her
for the
kid.
community."
Yeah.
But
Like, oh
they
my
got to
God.
make their money. So I was
Do they
like,
get in the car with you?
huh?
Do they
like-
No,
it's like
you just-
GTA?
You literally drive very. It's like you never been to like a car wash and like sat in
Yeah,
your
yeah.
car. That's what it feels like. It's like your car's in drive. You're just like,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah. There's just like shit going on around you. You're like moving through it.
I'm just hard in my car in sweatpants.
Yeah, everyone's just moving like a very slow speed. I don't know how it goes, but I'm sure you'd like put your window down, like slip the money out.
Or just grab
You just have like a basket. Yeah, you want to touch a little, push your window down, little titty. But
I feel like a naked car wash should be way more popular. Like I know it's like a thing that like I think like sororities do.
Yeah,
or
but also
something.
isn't it like objectifying? You know.
Well, I mean, if they're stepping up to the plate to do what they do to get money, then I think that's all.
yeah, but you ever wash your car by yourself?
It's a bitch.
No.
Yo, it takes a lot of like you do one car, you're like I'm good.
Yes, and it's also you're paying money for these people to probably not know
Do
how to
a
do
very
it
good
right.
job,
It's
yeah.
like, god damn it! Like there's a bunch of streak marks all over the side of my car. I saw some tits, but not
Yeah,
worth
it's like
it.
titty sweat mark on your left window.
like,
You're
damn
like,
it.
she didn't even clean that.
That's not gonna buff out.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea.
You need a lot of people. It's the same thing as like like the break dancers and stuff that you have like on the street. I'm like, it's crazy because people are like, yo, they make so much money. I'm like, you know how tiring that is?
Yeah,
like
they're
if they
working
just
for it.
dance for like 20 minutes and even if they made like $200, like they got to take a break. Like, they got to rest. It's like same thing. Titty car wash, break dancers, same people,
Same people,
no difference.
same crowd.
Same crowd.
Yeah, that shit must be incredibly tiring. Like people who just like jump over people. You know how they bring everybody together.
Let's get 20 people. We'll line them up. He runs. He takes 5 steps back and just
And they
flips over all of them.
It's a fun show to watch, and they definitely do get paid a lot, but it's definitely really tiring.
Dude, what about how like the train car performers don't get enough credit for their agility and their precision? Because how easy would it be? Imagine you trying to do a flip on a train, a crowded train, and not kicking somebody in the face.
Oh, people have been kicked.
Oh
for
no,
sure.
I'm sure they've been kicked, but I'm saying, they've definitely been.
Someone caught a Tim to the chin once.
Doing flips and Tims.
I'm
For
saying
sure.
more often than not. I feel like I can't do that. You know.
I've never seen one live, to be honest.
Oh,
Really?
you need to
I
buy
think
tickets.
I think the secret is you can't move because they calculate like they know. How,
Oh, yeah, they
calculate.
They're bringing out their fucking calculator.
Protractor. No, they calculate how close they can get to you, but people get afraid and then try to move, and then that's when they get the Tim to the head.
I guarantee they're just hoping that this person will knows enough to get out of the way. I don't think they're like, I know
don't
that
know,
his
man.
face is 4 inches away from the bottom of my shoe, so I got some room to play. I don't think
People are good at what they do.
that's true too.
There's also a lot of foreigners who's like, that's their first time seeing this. So they're like, that
Yeah.
guy's really close. And
Yeah.
they're terrified.
It's like, oh god, it's just the shit he stepped in from the bottom of his shoe just hit me in the face. You know,
Did you guys all grow up in this area?
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Bayside. It's like
Yeah.
more
yeah,
towards
I know
Long
this
Island.
is. Got you. Yeah.
You been
so
to
it's like
Bell
not
or
really-
something?
Huh?
You been to Bell?
Bell, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just talking with my friends. I forgot what the place is called now. But they have like a rooftop.
Bourbon
Bourbon?
Street.
Bourbon.
It's
Bourbon's
nice.
a shit show, dude.
Oh yeah.
You guys all spent time. Oh, not just Bourbon, not just Bell. In
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
Like all those spots are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's a place where a bunch of like meatheads come to get drunk.
Oh
There's
yeah.
every
There's so much testosterone.
like Thanksgiving, there's always a crazy, like the day before Thanksgiving
yeah.
is a big party night.
Thanksgiving Eve is
There's
huge.
always a crazy story. The last one, like 2 years ago, was some firefighter like cracked a bottle over some guy's head,
Jeez.
and it made big news. I guess because he was like a sexy firefighter of the month.
He was
or
in the
something.
calendar,
He was in
yeah.
the calendar,
Those-
and so he was on the front page. I was like, "Sexy firefighter bar brawl."
I'd read that.
like,
title.
eh.
Dude, that's a headline for sure.
And
That's
I
a
bought,
headline and a
and
half.
I bought the New York Post that day.
Yeah, I read that twice.
It's an enticing
well,
story.
now I gotta know.
Yeah, we used to go to this since we were super young, and like they would just let us in. You're
No,
like, oh,
yeah,
this is me. And it was like a ginger kid on my ID.
Yeah, it's like
Come on in.
like I'm handing him a Pokemon card. It's like, oh, perfect.
It gets rated every night, I think. When it was in its heyday, it just gets rated, and then that clears everybody out, and they can let a whole new wave of underage kids back in.
Yeah, it used to get raided every weekend, pretty much.
Yeah.
Used to be a lot of fights. Like we used to go there for beer pong tournaments. They had like weekly beer pong tournaments. Like where you could win like a lot of money. Because you'd come out, I think it was like a $20, $30 buy-in or something. Like $20 to $40 buy-in. I don't remember. I don't know if it was 20 a person. It might have been a $40 buy-in. But there was like 20 teams, 30 teams. And you're like, you take 80% of the pot home. It was like, oh, fuck, we out.
Yeah.
The only problem is like you got to buy the alcohol and stuff. So like essentially you end up losing no matter what because you're spending a bunch of money. Like they make a lot off the alcohol because like you have to fill your cups up with a pitcher.
And
But
you
the cups
gotta-
are disgusting. You're like, can I just put water?
Beer
Yeah.
pong.
Yeah.
Like you're drinking it.
Like you have to.
Oof.
They're
But
very,
that you have your own cups.
Oh,
But
okay,
it's
okay.
still gross.
Yeah.
'cause
That's
you're
gross,
You can't
man.
stack them. But
Going on
that's
the
it.
balls going on the floor and shit.
Yeah, once you have enough though, you're like, we're in this. And,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
people
yeah.
used
Oh,
to just
yeah.
bar fights. Like I'm talking like if someone lost, it would be like someone pegging a ping pong ball at someone else
Yeah,
and just
big-
like jumping over the table to fight. And you're like, oh, this is
Yeah,
kinda wild.
I want to see like the classic throw someone over a fully loaded beer
Bar,
pong
yeah.
table.
Or,
and, like,
yeah,
just
slide 'em
yeah,
across.
Yeah, like see like everything fly up.
well, one of the worst types of personalities is someone who thinks they're really good at beer pong.
yo, right here, your boy. I'm nice, bro.
Like everybody, I mean, and not the casual, but someone who's like, yo, I will beat anybody in beer pong right now. Anybody.
Yeah, Danny's fought these
Come
people
to
a
my
lot.
table. Come to my table.
There's also like a beer pong is so much trash talk. I guess because everyone's so drunk. Gets a little hairy for sure.
It's all right.
That's hilarious. Dude. He's like, I'll beat anybody.
It's
Bring
true.
it on. Come to my house, dude. Just me and you.
Yeah.
1v1
I'll
me.
drive you home right now. Fuck it.
And some of them put it on like social media too. They're like, yo, who wants to face me in beer pong?
They have beer pong national like champions.
Yeah, like beer
No?
Olympics is a
Ooh,
thwith I'm pretty sure.
Move on, buddy. Move on from college. Come on. That's enough.
I might be a piece of shit because I've been getting targeted with this with this advertisement on Instagram from Post Malone. You guys seen this? No, just me.
No.
Post Malone has like a beer pong tournament, and I was like,
Oh,
why
he
am I
would-
being
he would
targeted
enter
for
that.
this? But
Yo, send me that.
I've
Yeah,
seen it
really.
almost every day.
Danny would throw all his gripes with beer pong players out the window to go play in Post Malone's tournament.
That's true. But yeah, target ads miss a lot. For a long, long time, I was getting ads for like this
Vibrators.
Jewish Sunday school. I'm like, it's not me. It's not me.
Yeah, but
They were pretty spot on.
you can't play
actually.
it. Like you might not be the bullseye, but you're definitely on the dartboard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like Jewish Tinder.
That's funny.
I don't know.
That's pop.
Kayam.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know.
Are you
I never-
Jewish?
No.
You can pretend, dude.
Yeah,
I could,
that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
I know.
Hop on there.
I'm an honorary Jew. It's my curls.
That's it.
I think that's what it is.
What made you get into comedy? Because they want to be.
Do you guys want to jump into it? You just gotta go.
Yeah.
You literally just gotta go. Like go to like a mic, go to some shit, and just be like, "Yep, this is it. What's happening?"
For sure. I mean, we've been constantly like writing the past like I don't know 6 months or whatever. But like you just never feel ready. I guess you just got to jump into
Yeah,
it.
it sounds like that's really. I feel like everybody. That's the answer. You just gotta go.
Yeah,
But
you're better off just going eating shit. Because like even
Yeah.
no matter like what you write, you're like this is gonna kill, and then you show up like you could be doing it for like 2, 3, 4 years, and you're like this joke is gonna kill. And you go and you fucking eat it. You're like, oh well, time to take that back home. Like
Back to the lab.
yeah, so it's like essentially it's the same thing before you start. Like you could be like, oh, this is really funny. This is like just find like that format and just be like, fucking we out. I'm like just go. I remember I went and I just had 3 ideas the first time I ever went. Fucking ate shit, dude. And there was 3 people in the room. I was in the back room of this comedy club, and I was like this is rough. Like it just that's just part of it. Like it's kind of like just doing it, but then in that same moment you're like, oh, I want to do this more. I want to do it more and more and more. You
Yeah.
just, it's like an addiction.
I think I'd rather fail in a room to 50 people than to like 3. It's so much more personal if I'm failing to 3 people.
Yeah, you feel their disdain.
just
Yeah.
make eye contact with
But
them.
that's
making
when
eye
you get
contact.
better because the same way it's like if you can make 3 people laugh,
You could probably make 6.
Yeah.
you know,
And then you
like
make 12.
that's 100% of the room. If you got 3 people
true.
and you made all
Batting
3
1,000.
laugh,
That's true.
like if you look at it percentage wise, you know, even if there's 3 people and 2 out of 3 laugh, you go 60% of the room, baby.
That's passing.
Take those odds any day.
That's true. Yeah, I mean that just sounds like the way you gotta do it. Just keep doing it. But,
Especially open mics. You're going to have comics. So it's like, just pull up, just go. Because like a lot of time, this is the other thing is don't even fucking, I don't know. I see a lot of people be like, yo, this is my first time. It's like, fuck that. Don't tell anybody, bro. Just do it. If you eat it, you're just like, all right, peace.
Yeah.
Like just go home and
I just don't
Work it
have enough pairs of adult diapers to accomplish this goal. Because I'm gonna shit myself on stage. That's a guarantee.
That could be a bit at the end every time.
Yeah. Oh, look at this! I just shit myself.
That's
that
his
would be hard.
catchphrase.
See, I feel like I would be so afraid. I would get stage fright of shitting myself. I wouldn't even be able to shit.
No matter how many laxatives are in you.
It's like, yeah, I don't know.
Nah, it'll come out, dude.
Yeah, it'll definitely.
Couple laxies, dude.
Yeah, it'll definitely come out.
Pour down your leg.
What made you want to do like what you're doing now, like organizing these shows?
The same. It was like it's all from like based off the same thing. Where it was like, all right, did comedy, and I was like, well, comedy shut down. I was like, well, you kind of got to produce shit. So it's like the only way, especially because I just moved here. So I moved here 3 months ago. I was like in California, and then coming back, I'm like, you got to produce because I didn't know a single person. I knew not one New York comedian 3 months ago, and now I'm like, oh, dope. Like I'm in the scene.
Yeah.
Like I know everyone, and that's partially because we run the show that we run.
Yeah.
That's
so you
insane.
saw like a lack of it, and you're like, there's an opportunity.
Well, there's a
here?
lack of it all over the country. It's
Yeah.
because like shit shut down. So
Right.
essentially, like when you shut down clubs, which are the main show producers, now clubs were like, what do we, I mean, they kind of just had their hands behind their back where they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we can't do anything, but like if you guys want to do something, go for it. You know? They were kind of like hinting at people like, yo, go for it, fucking do something. And you're like, all right, fucking we out. So it's the same thing, like especially in LA, like LA was completely shut down. Like LA was just, they weren't letting anyone. So like even if you wanted to. So like we were in San Diego. So it was like a lot of LA guys that we were friends with. People were like, yo, like is anything going on in San Diego? Because we were still open, but kind of. And we were like, I mean, we should do something. Like we're not fully shut down. So people started doing beach shows, backyard shows, street shows, park shows, whatever. And then like the ceiling was only so high in San Diego because with everything shut down. And then New York is just that city. Like if you want to do comedy, like this is where you want to do it.
Yeah.
At least for me. Everyone's different, but I was like, I want to do it here. Like I'm from here. I was doing it over there. I was like, I might as well come home.
And New York's always kind of been like an underground-ish city. Like
People love
at
that
its
shit.
core,
You go
yeah.
speak easy. They're like, oh, I'm coming.
yeah. It's like, ooh.
Alcohol's totally legal. There's no problem with it, but call it a
I
speakeasy.
think that's literally the first thing I said when we walked into the show. I was like, oh, this feels like a speakeasy. I'm like such a fucking hipster.
But people love that shit though, because like they come and they're like, oh, like we shouldn't be here. Like,
Yeah.
let's have fun. Let's get trashed. Let's get drunk. And then part of like the BYOB and just having a
Yeah,
private
yeah.
venue and not doing it at a bar, because a bar essentially is like you got to go, you got to buy their drinks, you got to listen to their rules. Like at us, you're like this shit is private. Like if you wanted to come in, Postmate some Popeyes, go outside, grab it, drink a bottle of whiskey, have fun, do what you want to do. And that's part of the fun of it, where it was like people were just coming, and it was still a comedy show, but it was just different. It was just a completely different vibe than what they're accustomed to.
Yeah, it feels like you're in on something. You know, everybody wants to be in on the joke.
Yeah.
And like now with COVID, it's like people are kind of more spread out. It's like we got two seats, good lighting, and like if I talk to anyone, everyone's like, "Who the fuck is he making fun of?"
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh, that guy does look like that."
Yeah.
You know.
he does have a big nose.
So people are having like more fun, and it feels like family oriented. Like even like when you guys came up to me, you guys were like, "Oh, this is dope, this is cool." I was like, how the fuck do you guys know about this? Like, how do you, and I always like to know like how people hear about shit, because everything's like word of mouth. Whereas like we haven't really done much of anything else besides social media. But then like we don't put the venue, so like random people can just show up and be like, I want to come in. You're like, if you don't got tickets, you can't come in. And that's what kind of sucks for me, because I'm like, I don't got a bouncer.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm fingers crossed that no one ever pulls up is like, I'm coming in. I'm like, all right, my bad.
It's like-
Come on in for free.
We got 2 seats right here. You know what? Fuck it.
Has something like that happened? Like a problem like that?
Nah, but I was telling you guys, I was like, with BYOB, occasionally,
Yeah.
like you'll have people that just drink a lot. And like at the end of the day, I'm producing the show, like self-producing the show. So it's like, I got the video guys that I pay. I tell the comics to come and I pay them. And like everyone's kind of working together, but like I'm essentially have to control the environment. But it's also I'm hosting or doing a set or doing something. So it's like I want to focus on work, but I also want to focus on producing. And I see someone who's fucking shit faced. I'm like, I can't handle that. Right? I got my set in 2 minutes. Like I'm on after this guy, you know. And like I see someone wobbling. I'm like, I fucking hope he doesn't fall. So I'm like,
You're just sweating on the
yeah,
side.
like because there's not much I could do. Like I said, like I don't got bouncers. I don't got all these extra people. Where it's like the community kind of takes care of itself. Where it's like the people who are there, everyone's watching out for each other. So it feels like a family. You know, like where everyone's having fun. It was you, dude. Right? It was you.
He was drunk.
Yeah.
We had to kick him out.
No. You gave someone your sweater or some
I
shit,
did.
right?
I was wearing an MIT sweater, and like the host was like, "Oh, did you go to MIT?" Which I did not. I just bought the sweater. Which I believe makes me smarter than anybody who actually went to MIT.
That's not true.
But then some random woman was just like,
I want it.
I'll give you $50.
I want it.
It's like, okay.
What a great deal.
And he took it. It was cold in there. He took it right off his back. He had-
Oh, dude, yeah, my nips were like diamonds, dude.
Yeah.
It was very cold.
she wore it though. She
Yeah.
gave it back like very nice, but she did wear it. So good.
I know,
for
I
her.
still haven't watched it.
She had a
Jeez.
she had a boyfriend at the show too, dude.
Oh damn.
That was the craziest part.
She was just sniffing Danny's fucking MIT sweater too, right in front of him. He was probably like, "Fucking give it back. Give it back. It's gonna be a problem."
not your sweater.
Yeah. Why don't you wear my sweater?
Part of it too was like the energy that the people bring. Like every time people come and they're laughing, they're having fun. That makes the show better because then comedians go, "Yo, this is a great show." Comedians don't give a fuck if they do the same jokes. They just care if they hit.
Yeah.
You get me? Like you could do the same joke at 2 shows, but if one joke the joke didn't hit, and the next show it did, you go, "Yo, your show was great." It's like, all right, I mean, yeah, fucking why not? Like I'll take the credit for it. And if the people bring good energy, you're kind of like, yeah, the show is better. Because then people look at it as like, yo, I want to go to your show. I want to be on your show because now I get a good clip out of it. I get a good something out of it where like they could post that and that's content. And that's part of like being content producers where it's like you guys run a podcast. You're like, oh, let me get fucking fingers crossed we laugh once, like fingers crossed you have some sort of content. So it's like when you go to a better show where people laugh at your shit, it's just better content. So people are like, oh yes, like the crowd's great. And part of me is like, yes, guys, keep drinking, keep drinking,
Keep laughing.
and everyone's just getting hammered. You're like, yeah.
That's definitely true, though. Laughter is like contagious because JT pointed out that we had actually seen somebody that was at the show perform before, and I thought that his performance at your show was much better, even though it was the same jokes. It's just because more people were laughing, and so I was laughing.
Who was it?
I forgot his name.
One,
He
wanna
does
say
the.
Oh, Andrew Casartano. I
dude,
fucking love him, dude.
We saw him at the stand
Well, I
like,
think the
a year
first-
ago, and it didn't do as well.
They saw him. I never seen him, and for some reason, man, he tickled. Like I couldn't stop laughing.
I fucking love
he
him.
really he hit something in me. I couldn't stop.
I think the first time I was just so taken aback by the like weirdness, like the weirdness of it all. I was like, "What's happening?" But it's hilarious. He's a funny guy.
my wife.
So good.
dude, I've never seen him laugh that hard.
Fuck. I don't know. It was something about it. I don't know. It was good.
But that's
Yeah.
like when those dudes so I put him on the show because he's an energy guy. So it's like you're gonna feed off of that, like because he's doing like music / like having fun with it, and like he's very interactive. Like he's moving, he's doing funny movements. He's like humping the air. And he's like, somebody fuck my wife. Like doing whatever, he's like, back it up. It's like, talk about it's like little pair boy. Like shit like that. So it's like, you're like, what is going on?
It's very funny.
And part of everyone being confused is like what makes it so much fun. Cause you're like, this guy's completely different than anyone I've seen tonight or that anyone you will see. And kind of bringing that mix is fun.
If you gotta just be out there, how long could you go for?
I don't know. Probably like 40. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, but
Special almost.
yeah,
That's
but
a
it'd be
long
40 of like some of it is ass material. You get me? Like
Right.
where it's like you're playing with it and you're like, I don't know. Like I have material specifically that I'm like, this shit is good. Like this shit is really good. So like a lot of times you'll do that at shows, and then you have a lot of material that you like play with. You're like, I mean, I could do this, but this isn't like a material. Like you're still crafting it. You're still seeing what's up.
Your set was really good. The joke about your sister is fantastic.
That was
Appreciate
yeah.
it. My
so
sister
good.
hates that joke.
Why would she like it? Why would she like
Honestly,
it?
I just assume like he probably doesn't have a sister. Like hopefully I was praying like hopefully he doesn't have one. You know?
I've told her about the joke before I ever did it on stage, and she goes, "Please don't do that." And I'm like, Michelle, it kills. Like that joke, it's good. It's a good joke. And then I'm like, I got more about it, because like essentially I mentioned my mom, my sister, and then I talk more about it. Like some of those jokes were just brand new, but they tie into the shit that I've already done. So I was like, oh, let me play with this, like the story about like my mom, my dad, like the fire alarm and shit like that. Like I'd never done that, but it had just happened. So like, oh, I could tie this into this shit, and but I'll probably never do that shit again. You get me? Sometimes where it's like, oh, let me just try this out and see if it works. And you're like, do I put it out? Do I not? And that's part of like scrapping jokes too. Like you'll just do it. And you're like, I mean, that was a moment thing. Fuck it. And now get over it.
Yeah, and like your fire alarm thing. So I guess when you have like a real life stressful experience, are you thinking of like, how can I turn this into a bit?
Not in the moment.
Not in the moment.
Yeah, not in the moment. Like in the moment, you're kind of just like fucking goddamn, like this is going on. But sometimes you do like just sit there and you're like, yo, this is hilarious. I mean, but that happens with everything, you know. Like
Yeah.
since you were a
Yeah.
kid, like if your parents are screaming at you and you're laughing, like, what are you laughing at? You're like, this shit is funny, yo. Like you're mad about toaster strudels, like for no reason.
I definitely think like whenever I have like a bad Uber driver or some bad thing that happens to me, I'm always like, this is bad now, but it's gonna make a great podcast story.
Yeah, like
It's gonna be great.
It's weird how that became almost an easy way to get through something that's a little like,
I don't know
just
how,
a bad time.
I don't know how people function without an outlet of some kind, like to tell their ridiculous stories.
Usually therapy, but yeah.
Yeah,
Usually
Some people
That's
therapy, some people
expensive.
are friends.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Danny doesn't have either.
Although, I mean, is this any less expensive?
that's true. Yeah, but the therapist is just a person. Like, how am
anyway,
I supposed to know?
I've agreed with that. Like in regards to like therapy's weird because I'm like, how do you know the answer?
Yeah.
Like I could tell you my problems and I get it, you've studied this, but it's also there's no concrete like answers to anything psychological.
Yeah.
Like there's no numeric like numbers
Yeah.
are legit. Like you go 2 + 2, it equals 4, and you can be like, well, who made up the number 2? And it's like doesn't matter. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it signifies something. It signifies this. Like 2 of these, like it's just something that we added a value for something that exists. But it's like anything that's mental where you're like, people that think like this should do this. It's like, you don't fucking know that. Like, where'd you get this information? Someone's like, studies. And you're like, who'd you study? Like, it depends who you talk to, you know?
And it's like you could tell me how to act, but then that doesn't mean that you know how my dad's gonna act when he freaking like whacks me.
Yeah,
you know? It's
yeah,
like
you
you
go,
can't.
be calm. And it's like, my dad beats the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's like it's not gonna help me.
Keep your hands down. Don't flinch.
Like,
You're like,
are you
I
also,
can't.
are you also a karate coach? Like that would help me, you know.
Just manifest a world where he doesn't beat the shit out of you.
I'm sure if I went, I'd probably like it. But
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure it definitely helps. Like it definitely helps.
but I'm not going. For now, I'll just handle my stress with 10 picklebacks and
Jesus.
a wild
Yeah,
night.
we'll be your therapist. We'll be your therapist. All right, we could get out of here also. So let's do the outro, please.
Alrighty.
Danny, tell them where to find you.
You can find me at dmore723 on Instagram or Danny Moriarty on YouTube.
Same order.
You guys can find me at MAXXMANTICOF, Max Manticof, and this show at Street Talk Comedy, exactly the way it sounds, on Instagram.
We'll pop them up for you.
Got you. Thank you.
Cool. You can find me at JTHolden97 on Instagram.
You can find me at Aunt Prisco. Can't forget to follow.
Picky Boys Podcast. Like, share, subscribe. Wow, that was cute how we did it in tandem there.
Usually I just mouth it, but I wanted my voice in today.
All right.